Welcome back. Welcome back.
welcome.
Your boy, your guy, your mans, your family, we family. Well, I hope y'all hit that like. I hope y'all hit that subscribe. You know, we here to kick it off with a funky, fresh edition of this sesh. Neff, as always, aka Two. You know who I be, man. Whatever y'all see me out, call me whatever you like. We family. What's up, man?
Mr. Master in the house and on the scene once again.
What's good? What's good? Our guy in the background. Always got to give him a shout out because it's nothing but love, man. My boy Casual Joe. What's up, man?
Always on deck.
Yeah, man. Casual Joe is he may not always be seen, he may not always be heard, but he's a big part of sports success. So
Mr. Casual Joe.
Yeah, he just casually just here and there. You know, you might not never know, but you know, he there in the background, you know, keeping us popping, keeping us in line. Let's get to it, man. So, Sports Sesh hit the road yesterday, y'all, man. We did some different shit. Sports Sesh jumped on the road, caught a Rangers game, club seats behind home plate, all access type shit. Man, food.
I call it the Rangers experience. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been to professional games on all kinds of levels. Not at privileged levels, being in boxes and all kinds of stuff at all times, but man, this was one of the nicest. That's why I gotta say it's not even a game. It was a Rangers experience.
RTV, here comes Captain.
Well, that's for good service.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Look Like Here. There will be starting lineups for tonight's ball game. First for the visiting Kansas City Royals. Leading off and playing shortstop, number 7.
For sure.
You know, the new stadium, if you have not been, if you live in the area, or if you meaning to travel to the DFW, Dallas-Fort Worth, you need to check that out. Treat yourself to a game, an experience, and go and check that out. But I loved it because, man, we had access to a buffet, but it wasn't a buffet along the
traditional
level.
Style
it
buffet.
was a furs or some of the stuff like
that.
Man, it was premium.
Yeah.
Car prime rib, as much as you wanted. Man, all good cuts of meat, fresh fruits.
Fresh salads, fresh hot dogs,
salads.
Have a nice little
if you prefer an adult beverage,
dessert bar.
Yeah, and it was all free.
Free drinks, free.
And you can grab it, take you a couple of steps, get back to your seat out here, in the game.
In the game, behind
it was legitimate.
Man, a little kind of to even top the spirits off. Man, we were 2 minutes in the seat. Pop fly goes up over kind of between home and third. Chick walking down the front row, kind of leading up to where we were sitting and shit. And bing, ball hit her in the head, ricocheted off one dude after hitting her in the head, landing the dude that she walked.
Old girl got to be a mutant. I don't know how it is. Like, she acted like it did. I mean, she stopped because she got hit. Like, what the hell was that? But she just kept moving around.
She didn't rub her head. She didn't say ow. She didn't do nothing. She just kept walking.
And that ball came with some nice velocity to it.
For sure.
But it was a great experience, man.
Shout out to the Rangers, man, for putting out a immaculate stadium, man, and pulling out a win for one. But that stadium was just state of the art, man. State of the art, as far as So y'all gotta look out for the Sesh on the road, bringing you more live events. Letting y'all get some more of these access and behind the scenes type shit. We finna tie it in, man. Now we finna get to the titty. Now we finna get to the titty in the nitty and gritty. Let's go. Yeah, boy.
Let's go.
Lamar.
So what is this dynamic gonna do for us? Let's just jump on because this is the
He
Sesh.
can't wait. He
You know
can't
what I'm saying?
wait.
This is
What
what
it
we
is,
do
what
at
it
the
is.
Sesh. We
What
don't
it
just
is,
try,
what
you know,
it is.
tiptoe around.
What it is,
Well,
man.
I don't know what people are gonna want to hear. Let's just get into it. What does this mean for Lamar Jackson and the Ravens with, you know, OBJ, Odell Beckham Jr., now being a member of the Ravens for a 1-year guaranteed $15 million contract?
He paid.
That's you know, that's kind of some unprecedented type of stuff that's going on
sure.
as far as, you know, for the wide receiver position and
Sure.
locking that in for a guaranteed contract. So what does this mean? What does
Me personally,
this mean?
from the shit that I'm hearing, you know, the reports is Lamar worked on this deal. So it's belief Lamar's coming back. He's got to be playing on my opinion on the non-exclusive tender that they've, you know, got out there. They haven't offered a guaranteed deal, but I think it's a 1-year deal. Kind of like both of them proving it to the league. You know, they both seeking something probably fully guaranteed. They're similar boats, you know what I mean?
True
So
that.
so I think it's a big boy shot by two of the NFL's superior, most elite athletes. To be honest with you, I mean I don't know. I mean even after coming off the knee surgeries, man, tell me a receiver you would take over Odell Beckham. If the Rams would have gave him his money last year, they probably wouldn't even been in this situation.
That's true.
You know, their season could have went a little bit better, but you know they splurged on Allen Robinson bust.
I was gonna say that was a blessing in disguise probably for him because he'd have been locked into a team that's sinking because they went all in, you know, for the championship. So now they got what they wanted out of that. But now the residual, you know, of that's happened. Man, I don't know. I can't really think about it off top, so I'm not gonna waste any blank time just trying to stare about it and think. But I think it's a great matchup, you know, between those two, and I agree with you. I think that's probably what it is. They both got together, had a discussion about the 1-year deal because I'm sure he figured that's what they was gonna hit him with, this being Odell Beckham Jr. Mm-hmm. And then they agreed to just kind of showcase and show out. I'm just concerned about the injury factor specifically for Lamar. Not even so much for OBJ at this point in his career, because let's just be honest about it. He's past his peak of it. He is on the downslide of his career. Lamar, on the other hand, is on the ascend. I don't think he's necessarily even peaked, because I believe if he gets in the proper situation with the right coordinator / quarterback coach, or even head coach that's a quarterback whisperer, you know, a la Sean Payton or somebody like that, even though he's locked up in Denver. But just, you know, a mind like that really can groom and unlock the last couple categories that's missing from a quarterback and bring that out. I believe that's still waiting for Lamar. But at this point currently, I don't think that's going to happen within this organization specifically. But, man, taking that chance from the quarterback position under the franchise tag.
I'm about to get it, y'all. I'm about to run with it. This is something I kind of been hitting at. This is something I kind of been hitting at. And I'm glad we kind of get to this point. I always throw Aaron Rodgers up in this conversation. Y'all be like, man, well, stop bringing Rodgers up. Because no matter how many times Lamar Jackson can throw for 25 plus, 30 plus touchdowns, his legs are always going to be used against him. I was just thinking about this today. Last time I checked, the NFL owners have owned these teams for some of them 30, 40, and 50 years, right?
Mm-hmm. True that.
So for 30 and 40 and 50 years, they've known this is a injury sport. Stop talking about injuries and contracts to players, please, because it makes no sense. Because you guys act as if the NFL drafts a player. There is no player that is not going to get injured if he's playing in the NFL. This notion that these broadcasters and these NFL pundits try to put out there, well, he's injury prone. You tell me a player that finishes every season 100% healthy, then he needs the fully guaranteed contract, if that's what we're saying. This notion that Lamar Jackson can't be healthy at the end of the last 2 seasons, this notion that Lamar Jackson can't stand in the pocket and throw the ball, he's proved all this shit wrong. Everybody, all the doubters, he's proved y'all wrong. And continue to run the football. But nobody will say Lamar Jackson is the ultimate fucking weapon outside of Patrick Mahomes, and let's give him this money. I just seen the TV say Jalen Hurts gonna get 7 years for 234, maybe 341 million. It was too much motherfucking money, but it was fully, half of that shit was fully guaranteed. So now you're telling me a player like Jalen Hurts, second round draft pick, can get 7 years, $341 million, but Lamar Jackson can only get a non-exclusive franchise tenure. The man won an MVP at 21 years old. His first full season playing in the NFL, man.
But mathematically, though, I mean, if that's the deal that Hurts is getting, it's a lesser of a deal because number one is it's more years, but that's pretty much the same money that Lamar was getting guaranteed with less years because his was I think 4.
Correct.
So I don't know. I agree with what you're saying, and I'm not saying that I'm assuming or filling into the narrative that he's injury prone. I'm not. I'm saying the opposite for his benefit.
Let me continue on.
Not to risk himself.
Let me continue on with that being said about Lamar. On top of that, the Ravens should be humble and they want to compare Lamar Jackson to Joe Flacco. They seen this happen before and they splurged on Joe Flacco and then John Harbaugh. No, Lamar saved that situation. If anything, you got a young prime player who's ready to ascend for the next 10 to 15 years. Lamar is on ascension. Yeah. If he can run now, when his legs finally start to give away, which they may not ever give away, he may lose speed, but he's always going to be a threat to gain 5-6 yards. The arm's going to get better as the mind gets better. The more games he plays, the more he's going to see. The more, I mean, come on, bro. This notion that Lamar Jackson isn't the second best quarterback in the NFL kills me.
This season's going to show it, and I don't think he's going to be there after this season, to be honest with you. Win or lose.
I just got one more. This is the first real receivers the Ravens have went and got in his tenure. So yeah, I expect big things.
I do too.
I expect big things.
I do too. But win or lose, I think he'll be gone.
That too. Well, they can tag him again.
All right. I wanted to move on, holler about my boy, because this was kind of my cat back in the San Francisco days.
Okay, give it to me.
And it's just disappointing of what some people in life with all kinds of talents. I'm not even speaking about sports. You're going to be the bomb hot shot architect out here. You know what I'm saying? But when you just waste what God gives you, and it is a true talent. What God gave you and how you used it on the field, and you waste it continuously. And I think finally it's gotten to the point. I think this one is going to. So he only going to serve a couple years on. I think this charge. I'm not.
Who you talking about, Joe?
Alden Smith.
Who you talking about, Joe?
Alden Smith.
Alden Smith. What Alden Smith drunk ass did?
I think this time it was some assault, some domestic violence type shit.
He still get mad at hitting on people.
It's a shame. Shame, yo.
I used to think shit like this was
even
sad.
Some of the shit now kind of merging in because it's on the same tragic kind of deal, but facts is starting to roll out about Dwayne Haskins. Some risky business that was going on in that situation with him that led up to his death potentially. So man, it's just ridiculous to see these young men and sometimes women, make these decisions and waste their talent, bro.
It's kind of going back to the John thing, man. Sometimes in life, bro, you come across a fork in the road and you got to make a choice of who you're going to be and what you're going to be, and as you progress through life, them forks just continue to pop up. Okay, at this point in time, I got to pick a path. You know what I mean? The next 15 years, I got to pick a stance. You know what I'm saying? Maturity and evolution happens in so many different ways. And some of these players got to start having foresight to see that, okay, I'm in a position that I might have to mature mentally faster than I would like to. Period. I'm an average person, Joe. In the realm of entertainment, right? And so when I move, man, I try to move in a mindful thought that anybody can return me in for anything. You know what I'm saying? So motherfuckers could not like the way my drawers smell that day, type shit. You know what I'm saying? So with that all being said, man, I think some of these athletes got to be more mindful about whom they are, what they're trying to represent, what impact they're ultimately trying to lead. We all get mad, man. We all get frustrated, but shit, there's always, I don't know, bro. I look at life like a stub toe. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't punch the fucking wall and know that you're going to win. There's some situations that you know you can't punch your way out.
Break your hand.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm not finna break my toe and break my hand just because I'm frustrated. You know what I'm saying? Type shit. You know what I mean? That's the old saying. I'm not going to cut my nose off to spite my face. You know what I'm saying? So, you people got to live. When I say you people, I mean those that feel like they got to beat up on females, beat up on fellow brethren. You know what I'm saying? Like, brethren cross the line, then brethren got to be checked. You know what I'm saying? There's certain levels of checkage. You know what I'm saying?
It is.
First and foremost, we always got to learn how to articulate ourselves and use some type of verbal communication to be able to resolve some of these situations before they turn physical, before they turn violent. Not every situation calls for violence. Not every situation calls for verbal communication. You gotta know how to read the subject in the room of that situation. But this is the sports sesh, and we ain't here to talk about just nonsense. You know what I mean?
So moving on.
Yeah, pray. We all pray for Alden Smith. As we move on, you say, who you got playing Hawks? They
trying to hold on.
They up 9 after being up 15 and a half. Yeah. Miami teams that once they start playing that clinch defense, they finally get in there. But I've been really disappointed watching this game from where I picked up at with Jimmy Butler's performance. Butler disrespectful to say he's not a superstar. But for the things that he's supposed to be accomplishing out there, he got to do more. He said he do the things it takes to help his team win. Well, I would expect you to score more in big games.
Yeah, it's a little up and down. I'm picking when he's gonna do something. Picking when he's gonna do stuff.
Yeah. So we got Lakers next. Timberwolves, Lakers. What you got on Timberwolves, Lakers, man? Who you got?
Yeah, I think that's gonna be a little bit of a blowout, maybe.
I think the King. He get this shit slapped. The King gonna do the King shit.
Oh, pass the ball, yo.
Oh, man, he got a tip in. If y'all watching this Atlanta Miami game, y'all seen that trashy ass play Cody Zeller made. Cody Zeller just made a trashy ass play. But anywho,
boy down there getting beat up in there.
Man, Miami got a bunch of old ass players that nobody wanted, and that's how they made a team.
That's how they out here rolling.
Yeah. They're just smart.
And they're gonna get a second game.
You say blowout.
I think the Lakers, they gonna go ahead and they kind of plowing right now. So I think with the situation, the debacle that's going on in Minnesota, like I said, it's a shame. They're in the same situation as Miami. It's a shame they're gonna get a second game because I think they're gonna go ahead and lose to the Lakers tonight. Yeah. And then they.
What you got, Thunder Pelicans?
I think that's going to be a real good game. I think that's going to be really competitive, actually.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the young Thunder Bulls kind of getting some experience under their belt against a team. I think they're going to end up being able to fare. I agree with you on the Shea Gildas Alexander aspect of him just being a little bit too much. Yeah. Too consistent, man. Too smart and savvy on the floor.
Correct.
Getting his shot, creating for others when that situation comes about, and then working with the flow of the offense and then the team. The key, what I want to see with them, though, man, he got to get Lou Dort to stop shooting the ball so much. You got to stop shooting all the threes.
Yeah, well, I think they're going to do that. That's something they preach because that's the league, right?
Yeah.
But I like to see more players just get those touches when Shea is. Let him play a little bit more on the ball, off the ball. Let him not necessarily bring it up and initiate the offense, but let him flow through the offense and catch the ball that way and have initiation off the dribble. I think that'll bring versatility to the offense. You know what I mean? For him, get him in some different looks, shit like that. I think Giddey and some of these young bigs, Jalen Williams, the Williamson boys, and then I think there's one more big. Can't think of his name. Who we got from Phoenix? Sark, something like that. I think he's gonna be big for us. Going against those New Orleans bigs. Valanciunas is a house, so it's gonna be hard to keep him off the boards. That's gonna be important. And Ingram, he's long, he's athletic, he can shoot the ball. But they got Trey Murphy, who's long. They got Herb Jones, who's long. So they're going to be missing Alvarado. You said that earlier. So, that helps, man. But the biggest thing of it is, man, the Thunder is going to be in New Orleans. It's going to be a young team. So don't get rattled by the road. Go out there and ball, man. OKC
they've been doing all year, all season, pretty much. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? They come out, it just seems like they're going to get jumped on.
It's crazy you say this, right? Because now we can be like, okay, I mean, shit, Holmgren could be worth 10 games. 10 W's, huh?
I don't know about 10.
You don't know about 10?
I think.
How many Paul George
his
were?
First year. for the whole entire season.
Yeah.
I think Paul George type is 10
wins,
plus
yeah.
maybe.
I mean, that's hard. I mean,
First
I think,
season being back and then coming off an injury, I'm gonna give him 6,
okay,
6 to 8.
okay.
You know,
I mean, well, that's a decent.
You know
I think
what I'm saying?
his
I do think
length.
he's gonna make a difference for this squad.
Yeah, I think his length
Definitely.
will be a deterrent at the rim
because
Yeah.
it's sorely needed.
Yeah, correct. His weight is not going to be much, but once guys coming in, he can kind of bat balls around. But you can't teach 7 foot fucking one.
Yeah,
Care how skinny you are. You know what I'm saying? 7'1" with a 7'8", 7'9" wingspan. That's problematic, man. You know what I'm saying? And so we got the Bulls and got the Raptors. Man, I think that's going to be the hardest game to call or to play is right now. I'm undecided. If we do a Sesh before that game happens, which most likely we won't because they're tomorrow games.
I'm leaning towards the Bulls on that one, and I can't really necessarily tell you why outside of DeRozan.
Levine
kind of getting off.
Yeah,
and I think
Nurkic
might be
They got a
little too
big
much.
center.
Yeah.
Man, but I'm just like, Toronto just plays Fred VanVleet. He's just one of those guys that know how to play. They seem to got a lot of long guys that interchangeable positions. That's just key to what they're trying to do. Who else we got in the East in that play in? Well, obviously Atlanta and Miami's the other one. We're watching that now. Then we're gonna. I guess we're gonna finish up with your boys, Golden State and the Kings, huh?
That's gonna be a good one. I think that's gonna be a real good series.
Who you got? I got the Dubs. Did we pick somebody for the last game? You said Chicago. I did.
I said Chicago.
You did. I'm gonna go Chicago too. Fuck. I feel Toronto in my heart. But I'm gonna rock with Chicago. I got Milwaukee winning this whole damn thing, G.
I think I'm gonna go with the Dubs too, and I think the only reason is because this series is so homegrown and close. I don't think Golden State's pretty much gonna be, they ain't gonna have to leave. They're gonna be able to sleep in their bed.
They ain't got to worry about no real road travel.
This game right, yeah. This is pretty much gonna be a different situation.
San Francisco,
if it wasn't like that, then
he said San Francisco and Sacramento ain't shit.
That shit would
See that shit, Castle Joe? That's the shit we be talking about. Golden State got to go on the road, but they just going to Sacramento. You know what I'm saying? So there'd be secret disadvantage and competitive advantages already built in when you got X amount of teams in one
private
state.
jet, which they probably gonna hop and take on that one. That's probably like 10-minute flight. You literally going up, you coming down.
You know what I'm saying?
That's real quick.
They might just get a room, a big ass bungalow.
Yeah, I don't know.
And stay there for the little series, the little 2 days. Man, y'all hang out over in this little estate. We got this estate we own. Man, as we move on, man, who you got? Who you got?
Talk about that young lady, the Reese young lady for LSU.
She getting that paper.
I'm not getting that money.
Them NILs.
That money.
Mama, I'm out here getting
I mean, being a young person, of course, they're gonna do some.
Mama, got that NIL money
she
for
was
me.
showing folk what she's spending on it. You buying some ice, but that's a whole other conversation. But it sparked a thought in my head. It's an interesting conversation. I hope you feel like it. Hope y'all feel like it too. Click that like and subscribe. That's definitely what we need.
I'm always up for that shit, G.
She get that paper. And she kind of made a statement that, they was asking her what's her WNBA aspirations, after her LSU career wraps up. And she was like, she ain't really in no rush. The money that she's getting from the NIL, she's kind of really look to making more of that, but more endorsements and investments and trying to build a little bit of a brand and see where she stands on that prior to hitting the WNBA and then hoping to expand that if that's what she chooses to do beyond that. But I thought that was interesting. These young folks is via the NIL creating options and situations for themselves and, entrepreneurship in their own head and business owners, being 19, 20, some years old, getting a couple years of college, getting their degree, doing their thing, getting their championships in college, and got their paper set up and got some things set up beyond going to the WNBA. So I thought that was very interesting. I wanted to see what you thought about that too.
I think it's super important, especially for young females. Kind of going on to the second half of the WNBA draft. I think I heard a stat today that 50% of the girls drafted in the first round don't make a roster. You know what I'm saying? So it's hella competitive. The roster depth is short in the WNBA. The pay is underpaid. So with that all being said, I think anytime female athletes get an opportunity to further advance, you know what I'm saying, monetary gains in any positive direction, shit, you gotta be all thumbs up for it. You know what I'm saying? Now, what's gonna happen is, cause she had icebox buying ice, people gonna start to hate, people gonna start to project negativity around the NIL and what's wrong with it. That's what you'll start to see. You'll start to see a little bit more, people trying to turn the NIL into something negative. You know, and then on the other side of it, like we talked earlier in the year, you have to go back and tap in. If y'all hit that like and subscribe, you know where we at. But there was a Florida quarterback this year, a young kid coming in that was asking for $12 million from Florida as a freshman.
Yeah, I do remember that.
And so he didn't end up going to Florida because Florida didn't have that bag to give to him, and now he out here floating around trying to find a school.
That bag.
And so
it ain't even school. It's just school that's gonna provide that bag.
You know what I'm saying? And so
matter.
I think even with that Angel Reese situation, what we gotta understand is what level of student are you talking to first with that NIL deal? You know, if you're talking to a junior and a senior, of course they might have a little bit more expanded plans and ideas on what they're trying to do with their money. Now you talking to a true freshman, a redshirt sophomore, a redshirt freshman, true freshman. You know, it varies. It varies. You know what I'm saying? And so you just got to be careful with that. But shout out to all women's athletics, man. We need more women's athletes to be put on the scale, and the game that the girls play, we need more of that. We need more Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. Rivalries are always what's best within sports. You know what I'm saying? A little dislike.
Truth amongst competitors. That's what I dug about that whole situation. Screw what everybody else is saying on both sides of this situation.
Facts. And that's what
I just like the truth amongst competitors. You know what I'm saying? Her not getting mad on the court and flowing with all these people saying she should be what she did to her is wrong. She still, man, that's just true fire and competitiveness.
I'm
true that. I was doing the same thing and so I mean, hey, that's just competitiveness. So now that I give you props for that too, for including her in that shout out, because that's major, man. They're changing the game, and that's really why I wanted to talk about that, because I really the question was about the future of the WNBA. You know what I'm saying? When you got these young stars in college doing these types of things,
we've had
in
this
all
conversation.
arenas. What does that mean? What is it? Does their mentality moving forward as young athletes? And I'm just saying, I ain't saying when. I'm saying young athletes.
Me and my uncle had this conversation.
Young athletes. What does that mean for these leagues going forward?
Me and my uncle had this conversation over this past weekend, right? I'm not gonna say he has a Jim Travers mentality about women's sports, right? Mm-hmm. He's like, these motherfuckers ain't up in here gorilla slamming the ball, so fuck, I don't want to watch it. I'm like, well, shit, what if they lowered the goal? Then he was complaining about the women's game not playing with the same size of a ball of a man, and these are all valid points, right? But this is something that I genuinely believe, right? If you lower the rims a foot and a half. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how much this impacts the women's game, but I do think it changes the excitement level of the women's game, and it now draws men in. Now, this is what I genuinely believe. Men have to be more willing to go out and spend their money and watch a women's game. We're too bullish in that regard because we're not seeing home runs. We're not being excited like we are when we watch these men. So we diminish this woman's competitive nature, and that falls on us, right? Like as a fan, we can sit here and say, well, women ain't going out there and watching it. This, that, and we don't know what women are and aren't doing. But what we aren't doing, the numbers show, are going to women's games.
True that.
Because I mean, they're balling out. OU's female softball team balls out, you know what I mean? But are we attending? You know what I mean?
Even that time when specifically when the Final Fours are going on, men's and women's, 9 times out of 10, those are going on in local
areas
and
at the
arenas.
same time.
I mean, that's what the athletes do. They go check out each other because they're that close. But that doesn't necessarily happen as far as, like you're saying, with us men, supporting that and doing it. Because to be honest with you, we should, because a women's game, especially in the NCAA, is fire.
It's more skilled. It's just more, women are going to be more textbook, bro. They're going to be more skilled. They're going to be more strategic. You know what I mean? Everything that you don't get in baseball, as far as men's, it's going to be more exciting.
More true to the art.
Yeah, man, they stealing, they bunting, you know what I'm saying? Suicide, squeezing, they doing it all. You know what I'm saying? And so if you like that type of aspect of the game, you're gonna see it. You know, like I said, going back to the experience last night, there's 100 foul tips last night.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so it just, with a winner's game, you're gonna get more balls put in play, and that's something you want to see. Balls in play.
Moving on.
Keep it moving.
We talked real quick about Udonis.
It's a Florida thing.
With our last topic.
Yeah, it's a Florida thing.
Good old Udonis Haslam. Just want to give a shout out and props to him. Was it 20 years? 20 years in Miami.
Udonis been around 30 years, man. They acting like
you've been there.
new, man.
It has been like you started out like a water boy or something when he was like 40 years ago.
Man, that's the way they acting, man. They need to stop this, man. The man won multiple national championships at Florida. He won multiple NBA championships. Hell, I don't think the man ever averaged over 5 points ever in his career from Miami. But, I'm not here to diminish Udonis Haslam. I'm not here to shit on him. I'm just saying, y'all need to stop this madness. Like, Udonis went out here and broke the all-time minutes played record. He got his money.
Get his money. And his little flowers, man. Give him a couple little flowers, man.
They ain't got to be public flowers, hell.
A couple little flowers.
I'm sure Janice in the damn front office retired this year, too. We ain't making a big deal out of this shit. He ain't no different than Janice. Hell, he might have played in the last 10 years just as many damn games as Janice. So, fuck what y'all talking about, man. Y'all better get off me, man. I'm just saying, Udonis ain't this shit, but get a minimum check, and he coached. He a player coach.
I believe he had some key moments to me when he was playing. Yeah, he ain't gonna set you on fire with his stats. That's
man, look
sure.
But Udonis Haslam wasn't even no damn Shane Battier, man. Y'all stop this shit. Y'all stop this shit.
Wasn't all that.
So
he was great. He bought some edge, bought some toughness when it was needed.
I guess he would be Luke Walton of the Bulls.
Somewhere around that range.
Yeah, maybe Bill Winnington.
That's a fair comparison.
Yeah, I know it is. I'm being nice too, because I want to call him like shit. Somebody you'll never see it play. For these, whoever, man. Whoever don't play.
Let's move on, because you so he about to surprise Salty to me, y'all. On the Udonis Haslam. Like,
he almost made me say F Udonis Haslam, man. I ain't even trying to say that. Because Hazzy was a good dude, man. He a good person, man. I ain't saying that, but I'm just saying y'all acting like he a Hall of Famer. And that ain't what it is. So let's keep it moving. Devin White, he requested a trade out of Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay finna be in a blow up, man. They finna be in a blow up.
It's gonna be a fire sale.
Yeah, the infield's coming up hot. The draft is coming up hot. There's a lot of requests right now. I think some teams trying to get at who they say number 3 is. I can't remember who number 3 is right now, but I think the draft is going to be quarterback heavy. The first five so picks, quarterbacks, definitely. So how you feeling about Stroud? Where he going?
I don't know. I mean, I hope Carolina is smart enough to go ahead and scoop him up. I just don't want to drop Houston, bro. Like I said, either one of those two, because of the caliber of the young men that they are, and the
ain't like they're gonna jump up and get Will Evans. They ain't like Houston,
man. But you never know.
Well. Let me pause. Let me say this.
Some of these squads
we can laugh. We can sit here today and be talking about Bryce Young and C.J. Stroud going 1 and 2. In all reality, Anthony Richardson, Will Evans could be 1 and 2. In one of these teams' mind.
Yes.
In one of these teams' mind. Yeah, we don't know what
like
these teams, how these teams value these players. We're just going off of mock drafts, this, that, and the third. But, both of those guys are big, stout guys, horses.
Yeah, but to me, I mean, you and I both know
go to ball
those
country mile,
much more polished.
6-point game, 740 to go. Boom. Oh man, you get them other two, but this is the problem, man. I'm gonna tell you like this. Them undersized quarterbacks from Alabama. I just don't know. I don't know if
they don't fancy wear. And the Ohio State quarterbacks, we ain't really got no history of no quarterbacks doing busting major bubbles in the NFL.
Well, this is the one. This is the one.
I think
this is
Fields
smooth.
is going to continue.
Y'all know that song "Smooth Operator"?
They got some more coverage.
That's C.J. Stroud. That song was made. C.J. Stroud is a smooth operator, man.
Not if you go to Houston, though.
He gonna, man, look here, man.
Not if you go to Houston.
You gonna stop this shit right now. You gonna stop this shit. You gonna stop this shit right here, right now. No, we ain't finna move on. You wanna wrap it up?
We can ready to wrap him up.
No, you ain't finna spin. Houston, we got a new regime. They got a new head coach. If whoever go there, okay, look, why you got your lips? Because the organization shit. The owner shit.
Poo-poo.
This shit. Well, at least you know they put out non-disclosures.
Yeah, we'll see how far that shit go. Part of the scam, the artist is his homeboy, live on the same street. That's his attorney.
Man, this is Sports Sesh. This is your boy too. He full of shit. Y'all like the Houston, Texas,
bro.
man.
Let us know.
You know
where y'all want some of these cats to go.
Yeah.
Dig your research up on Houston.
Yeah, we're gonna pull up some video next time. Have Casual Joe put some footage up of the experience.
Of our experience that we had with the Texas Rangers.
Hey, one more shout out. Shout out to the Woo out there, man. Y'all go catch that series, man. Y'all go get that dub sack, man. Cause you know that shit moved me this last month, man. Got me real outside the box thinking. So yeah, just outside the box thinking and creatively, you know what I'm saying? So yeah. Be inspired by all things. People love peace, grease. I love you, just.